now.
ओके कूल। अस्मी तू स्क्रीन शेयर नहीं कर रही है, लाइव हो गया बट तेरी स्क्रीन शेयर नहीं हो रही है। हैव अ लुक ऑन इट। हाँ अब हो रहा है, कूल। हाँ आवाज आ रही है, कूल, बढ़िया। तिशा एक बार स्क्रीन शेयर करके एक बार चेक कर लेते हैं कि लाइक तेरा स्क्रीन शेयर हो रहा है कि नहीं। वाह, लेट्स सी।
Just a second.
कूल।
Is it visible?
Not for me till now. Yeah, it's visible now. It's visible now. Yep. अस्मी, डिस्कॉर्ड पे जाके जहाँ पे स्क्रीन शेयर कर रही है तिशा, उस पे क्लिक कर देना। हाँ, इसको दिमाग में रखना अस्मी। Yep. Cool. Cool. I guess we can start off. Maybe Aditya want to. Okay, cool, 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 cool. ठीक है then. Cool, then we can start off, I guess. I'm leaving obviously, but I guess Aditya can start with the hosting part. But yeah.
Okay. Can we wait for 1 or 2 minutes more?
Sure. Asmi, can you do one thing? Can you announce again if possible, like for the joining part, maybe on the announcement channel of the category of basically Study Jam, if possible?
Yes, that would be great.
Yep.
Asmi, have you the posting in the announcement channel? Okay. Hello guys, those who are joined, please wait for 1 minute. Let others to join, and then we would start off. Yeah, I think we should start now. Am I audible to everyone?
Yes, you are audible, bro. Yeah.
Okay, so good evening, everyone. This is our second day in the Google Study Jam. In so today we are discussing with the second part of this, and this would be led by Tisha. And the person who has joined if you face any issues regarding the voice or any screen share, if it is not happening, please let us know through the chat so that we can modify it or correct it in time. So Tisha, you can take over from here and start off with the presentation.
Yeah, thanks, Aditya. Hi, everyone. This is Tisha Chawlani. I hope I'm audible to each and every one of you. Can you write over the chat if I'm audible and clear enough? Okay, then let's start over today's session, which is on pandas. So, how many of you know about pandas or have worked on it? Any any comments on it on the same? Okay, Ankit, you have worked on it, or you have the knowledge of just pandas. Yeah, so pandas is used for machine learning. Yeah, of course. So, have you worked on it or used this library in any of your project? I have used this library many times for my project. Good to know. Yeah, for data pre-processing. Yes. Hmm. Okay. Nice. Okay, so guys, we will be today we will be dealing with Python, the basics of Python, how you can use this library, and why we are using pandas and NumPy. So, like basic, you have already known what NumPy is, and Asmi has uh, taken the session over NumPy. So now today we will be learning about the next library, which is Pandas. So Pandas is a powerful open source Python library used for working with data sets. So this all is like basic theory, you could say, to make you understand what Python is for people who are very beginner and starting with Python library for the first time, Pandas library for the first time. It's like for them. So just have a little bit patience so that we can just have an overview of it, like kind of history of it, and then we will be diving into the coding part. So basic thing is that the pandas is the open source Python library which is used for working with data sets. And the name pandas, I guess you already know why we use numpy. What's the full form of it? Anyone can write over the chat. The full form of numpy. Anyone? Okay, so full form of NumPy is like numerical Python, which it is mostly referred as numerical Python because it is mostly used for arrays and matrices, right? It's like dealing with mathematical calculations, we can say, which is, as it is dealing with arrays and matrices. So when we come to pandas, the reference of pandas is panel data or Python data analysis. It's mostly referred as Python data analysis because you can see the spelling of pandas and it's like, yeah. So it is what it was created by Wes McKinney in 2008, and the functions includes analyzing, cleaning, exploring, and manipulating data. And it is mostly essential tool for data analysts and scientists and engineers working with structured data. You need to highlight here that it's actually going to deal with structured data in Python. We are not going to deal with unstructured data. Pandas consist of data structures and functions to perform efficient operations on data, and it is well suited for working with tabular data such as spreadsheets or SQL tables. So here's here's about why we should use pandas and why it is used for. So the pandas library is generally used for data science because it is used in conjunction with other libraries that are used for data science. It is because the reference is it is talking about the numpy library, which is like actually pandas is built on the top of numpy library, which means that a lot of structures of numpy are used or are replicate in pandas. Okay, so it's like you can say it's similar to numpy, we can say. And pandas allows us to analyze big data and make conclusion based on statistical theories. So of course we are actually going to deal with pandas, so we are actually doing to visualization as well because we are dealing with data sets. So pandas can clean messy data sets, make them readable and relevant. And relevant data is very important in data science. If any one of you are aspiring as a data analyst or are actually thinking of a career in the field of data science, should have knowledge of pandas. So data set cleaning, merging and joining, all this work are of pandas. Easy handling of missing data in floating point as well as non-floating point data as well. Columns can be inserted, deleted from data frame and higher dimensional objects. Powerful group by functionality for performing split, apply, combine operations on data sets. Data visualization. The data produced by pandas is often used as input for plotting functions in matplotlib, statistical analysis in scipy, and machine learning algorithms in scikit-learn. Okay, so it's like for as we have mentioned that pandas, we are using pandas for data visualization. Of course we are going to use matplotlib library and then other as well. Further, actually in today's session also we are going to do data visualization as well, so you just stay tuned for the further session. And also we are going to work on a very very basic project, so that you can understand how we are dealing with data and how we are actually cleaning data, analysis of data is happening, and how we are visualizing data, same data. So yesterday we had a session on NumPy, and today we are having session on pandas. So why was there a need to use pandas? We were already having NumPy to deal with data, right? So anyone would like to answer this question on their own? Anyone in the audience would like to answer this question, like why we are having pandas? Let me repeat my question. I'm just asking, like yesterday we had a session on NumPy, and we have already looked into like how NumPy is dealing with data. But now we are actually having pandas today. So why was there need to have a pandas library? What were the like kind of issues with you can say NumPy and like of course the functions of NumPy and of course the functions of uh, pandas are different, but can you just clarify a bit difference between both of them? Okay, avoids complex loops. Yeah, of course. Deal with large data sets and complex data. Yeah, both the answers are correct, of course. So, when we talk about NumPy, we are actually performing mathematical operations on arrays of data. Okay, and when you need to create or manipulate matrices, as I said in the start, NumPy is for dealing with arrays and matrices. I guess you have also looked into how 1 to 2D arrays are made and then how dimensional are analyzed over it. So it's like for all those things we are using NumPy, and it is to work with large data sets. When we deal with pandas, we are working with tabular data. You have to mention here that we are dealing with tabular data, and we are actually performing data analysis, cleaning, manipulation, and visualization as well. Okay, so this is the main difference you can have, or you can like, it's like very basic difference. If anyone asks you, you can just clarify by saying matrices and arrays when we deal with numpy. And it's like we are dealing with tabular data and also structured data when we're dealing with pandas. So if anyone wants to access pandas, it's like the source code of pandas is already located in github repository, which is this. Of course, we are going to share this collab notebook with you, and all those codes and all the theory which is written over here will be shared with you after the session. So when we want to install pandas, as you know, this is collab, we already have all the libraries pre-installed over it. So when we want to install pandas from cmd, we can install it by running this function, which is pimp install pandas, a simple function. And we want to, if we want to check the version of if you want to check the version of pandas library, you in the cmd you can write uh, dash dash version, pandas dash dash version, then you will get to know the version of it. But when we are dealing with this collab notebook, here we are actually importing the library pandas as pd. Why we are dealing, why we are writing here pd is like simple. We don't want to we actually don't want our code to be complex, while that we want to call the function again and again, and then we are writing over and over again like this whole world. It's better to deal with the very small word, which is pd. So here we are actually importing pandas library as pd, so just to uh, simplify the complexity of the code. And then we are here we want to check the version, so we are writing print pd dot underscore underscore version underscore underscore. People in the audience, kindly open your notebook and you can start over working on this code. You can just try out all those codes. Okay, we have question from the audience. I have a question. Why do all data sets put into a table? Even the data sets on Kaggle also are into tabular form. So when we are actually dealing with data, it's of course necessary to. It's not necessary. It's depends on what kind of project you're dealing with. But mostly, I will say 95-98% of time we deal with tabular data. It is considered as structured form. Okay, so it's like structured data, because if we are like dealing with tabular data, it's easy to access and modify and update everything we want, whatever we want to. It's like when we are dealing with data manipulation, it's like easy when we deal with tabular data sets. The next question is, will the command line automatically update the libraries, or we have to manually do it when the new version comes? You have to manually do it. If it's like today you have installed the pandas library you using the cmd, and after a month or 2 month, couple of months, you have a new version of pandas, it will not automatically update in your system. You have to update it. All guys have opened your collab notebook and are writing out and trying out all the codes. Anyone on the chat section can just let me know if you all are working on the same. Okay, we have a positive response. Okay, so then let's move forward. So first comes working on data. Working with data in Python involves tasks such as reading, manipulating, and displaying, the same thing that we have discussed earlier. Libraries like Pandas are commonly used for this task, which is manipulating, reading, and displaying the data. The primary data structure in Pandas is the data frame, uh, which is two-dimensional table with rows and columns. You can perform operations like filtering, sorting, aggregating data in a data frame. So there are two data structures which are used in Pandas library. One is data frame and one is series. So the data frame is two-dimensional table and the series is one-dimensional array-like object. And data frame it's like similar to a spreadsheet or SQL table, consists of rows, columns, each with a label, provides methods for data cleaning, reshaping, and analysis. In comparison, series is capable of holding any data type indexed, allowing for easy data retrieval and manipulation. So working on data, when we are working with the data, we have four types of things, which is first is data loading. We have to read data from various file formats, which include CSV, JSON, Excel, SQL. So it's like you already know a lot of types. So when we want to access different types, we have to use this function, which is pd dot read CSV. If this is a CSV file, and then the name of the CSV file uh, in the parenthesis, and then we have pd.read.excel for accessing any Excel file. Similarly, for other files, you can write down the function. Then the next step is data exploration, which is to have an overview of the data sets. Which in this we have three functions, which is head, info, and describe. We will be using this all the three functions to let you know what kind of output is coming over this when we are dealing with all the three of this functions. So when we have data manipulation of course include updating, sorting, transforming the data, and filtering out the data. Where we are having these two functions, of course we will be using these two functions as well. And when it comes to data visualization, we create visual representation. It's like for creating visual representation of data, and here we have two more functions for the same. So here's the very basic program of how to demonstrate working on data using pandas. So we are again importing pandas as PD. Okay, so then we have a sample data set where we have a variable data equals name. Here we are kind of having a dictionary, you can say, where we are having key and value, but the values are like multiple values you can input. You can have it as an input. So we are having name as one of the column. uh, and then we have John, Alice, and Bob, three names over here. And then we have age, and three ages over here, and city as a column. And then we have New York, San Francisco, and Los Angeles as value of under this column. Then we have df as a variable, where we are actually creating the data frame. So here we are using we are actually learning data structure, data frame data structure over here. So here we are creating data frame. So PD pandas, we have imported pandas as PD. So pandas, using pandas only we can access, we can convert the data or showcase the data into by creating a data frame. So it's like PD pandas is referred here, and then under it we are creating a data frame. And we are creating data frame of which data. So here is the word variable data that we have used. So this data will be converted into data frame, and now we have to display the data frame, of course. So we are using print function over here, and the string data frame over here to just to showcase that this is a data frame that we are this is the data frame that we have created. And then we are creating df. So what is df is this data frame, of course. So here you can see when we are dealing with data frame as a data structure, here we have three columns over here. And of course there are in 0 1 2 are like indices of each one of it. So we have a column having name, age, and city over here. It's like simple. I hope you guys are working on the same code, and you are able to run your code similar to what is being shown in this. Anyone can give confirmation on the same in the chat section. Yes, sure, sure. You can take time to write the code. Try out this functions as well. So we are going to further discuss about the CSV file and JSON file. So I'm not going to deal with data loading, the two functions which are shown as example in data loading. Let's explore our data using df.head, and let's see what's the output. Here, I guess you are aware of the output. What's the output over here? I'm now changing the code and writing df.head over here. So when we write df.head, so you can see it's like showing the data into tabular form. Here's the tabular form. And then let's use the second function, which is df.info. So when we write df.info, it's having the same column kind of thing. And here we are having the column names, which is name, age, and city, and data, which is 0, 1, 2, which is like indices. And then we have non-null count. So actually returning how many non-null values are there. So there in the name section, we have three non-null values in similar to age and city, because we are not dealing with any null value over here. And here in the fourth column, it's showcasing data type. So here when it comes to name, we have object, and when it comes to age, it's of course integer over here. And when it comes to city, of course this is object again. So here data, two types of data types we are dealing with, so here it's mentioning that, and the memory usage over here when we are writing information, df.info. And then when we write df.describe, let's see what's the output. So when we use df.describe, it's having count, mean, std, min, 25%, 70%, 75%, and maximum as well. So it's dealing with age over here, of course, because describe is the function which is actually dealing with the numerical data, because it has to provide output as count, mean, and average values and everything. So when you are you are dealing any data where you want numerical output, or you want to showcase average or mean or anything, you can just use the function describe. And when you just want to showcase your data into a tabular form, you can use the word you can use the function head. And when you want to simply just know the data types that you're dealing with and the memory usage, you can use the function info over here. And then when it comes to data manipulation, so here we have this function which is df and parenthesis df, and here we have to mention the column which is age, of course. So it will be showcasing data um, in the it is going to deal with the age column, and the data or the rows having values greater than 25 will be showcased only. So here we have the maximum value as 30, so I'm going to write here 25, and let's see what's the output it's showing. So you can see the output is just the row Alice, and of course the indices is also one only, not zero. It's not generating any new table over here. Okay, so it's just letting us know the particular row in which the according to the age column, the age is greater than 25. So when we are like dealing with any voter ID thing, and you have to, like, for example, you have to like select people of of having age more than 18 only, then you can write this function and deal with the same. I hope that's clear to each and every one of you. Can you write on the comment section? Of course, you can use the type function to find out the type of data, Ankit. But I guess when you're dealing with large data sets, you can't write the same function over and over again. So that's why when we are dealing with tabular data, you have to use all these functions. Will the describe function work on even on large data values as well? Of course, yes. Okay, so let's continue with the code. Dealt with this particular function when we are dealing with data manipulation. The next function is sorting the column, and when we are sorting the column, you have to here again say, let's say, age column. So you can see it has sort the values from 22, 25, 30 over here. So similarly, there are very many data manipulation functions that you can use. You can explore the other data manipulation function as well. Currently, we have explored all this function. I hope all these functions are clear to you. And then let's use this visualization function as well, which is df.plot. So here, this is plotting a simple graph, which is from 25, 30, and 22. So we here our age is like fluctuating like 25, 30, and 22. So it's showing this um, graph over here, and then let's make a histogram out of it, or simply write over here. So here you can see the number, or you can when we are dealing with frequency. So how many times the age 22 is coming, how many times 25 age is coming, how many times 30 age is coming. Of course, the value will be one here, because we are not having very much very the number, the data set that we are using is very smaller. If we have two ages of having 22, two people having the age of 22, of course it will be showing 2 over here. So similarly, you can use this both function, which is df.plot, df.hist as data visualization. Next, let's continue with our um, series data now, as we have dealt with data frame. So this was the basic function to demonstrate how we are dealing with data while using pandas. Now we are dealing with series data, which is the next data structure. So the series data structure refers to one-dimensional labeled array capable for holding any data type. In Python, the pandas library provides a series data structure. Key features of series data are indexing. Each element in a series has a label or index, of course. We are dealing with homogeneous data. All elements in a particular series are of the same data type. Missing value, series can, of course, handle missing or undefined data. Operations performed on series are like including index. Series support various operations, including indexing, slicing, and mathematical operations. So simple series here is like a variable. Of course, in the start you have to import pandas as PD, or you can simply import pandas or not use the function PD. Then further you have to here use the whole word pandas. So here we are using a simple variable a, and we are in importing a series over here, which is 17 having three values 172. Here is the another variable my_var equals to pd dot series. So we are actually converting, or we are going to show the whole data into series. So here you are using the function series, and in the parenthesis the variable which is having the data of the which is to be showcased as series. So here it is a, and then we are printing the my variable over here. So here you can see 172 was our data, and 012 is the indices automatically allotted to the data that we have inserted. And here in the series, of course, every time whenever we print the series, it will showcase the type of data that the series is consisting of. So here the data type is integer. So when we want to access any particular element in the series, we are going to simply insert what is the indice of it, and then of course we can access that particular data. So here, as in the square brackets, you have to mention what indice you want to access over here. So it's like 0 for just an example, we are writing over 0. Sorry, just a second. Let me run this function first. Okay, so here's the output as 1. When we want to access, let's say 2, indice is 2, not the number or the data is 2. The indice is 2, not the data is 2 over here in the function. Next, if we want to specify any other indices, like let's in by default it's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 like that. If you want to specify your indices as well, so it's like simply what you can do is when you're mentioning that you are going to convert this by series, you can mention what index you want. So here you can just simply write index equals, let's say is not 0, 1, 2, it is xyz. You can specify over it, and then you can see it's actually printing xyz, and the data is 172, and the data type of course remains the same, which is integer. And of course if you want to access the element, now you don't want to write over 0, 1, 2 over here. You have to write the index that you have mentioned in the previous function. Now if your data is if you want to insert, you can also have a dictionary data over here. So it's like as a dictionary, you can import your data, which will mention the indices first and then the data over it. If you don't want to go like this, you can go with it. And here is like day one is like the indice, and day two is also indices, and 420, 380, 390 is all the data that we want to display. And simply here you can see the variable that we're using is calories over here. And the day one, day two is like kind of, this is just because you can like if you want to display data of let's say uh, what was your heart rate on day 1, 2, 3. So you can use day 1 to day 3 as a indices over here. It's not compulsion that it will should be 0, 1, 2, as it's having functions, and it's having giving us the access to change the indices name. So it should be like of course we are going to have a visual representation of the data that we are giving to it, giving to the pandas library. So of course we are going to have a visual representation like this, so we can of course change the data type, and of course we can change the column according to our needs and wants and requirements of course. So here this is how like kind of example you can use the data that is like what kind of data you are dealing with, what's your motive, what's your aim of using those data. According to that you can change the indices, and of course other function and the other things as well that we will be looking into further session. So here the similar thing is there. And here if we just want to access just the two indices, which is day one and day two, you can just specify over it when we over it like when we are uh, mentioning that the we are converting this particular data into series. I hope till now it's like clear to each and every one of you. Okay, you need time to write the code. Okay, let me display the code. uh, can you specify which code you were writing, Ankit? Okay. Okay, I hope you all are working and writing the code and trying out the code. Simply, you can write very simple codes if you don't want to go to complex. In further session, we are going to deal with long data sets, large data sets, of course, a bit large, not very large. Will the describe function work on even on large? I have answered this question, I guess. Okay. Uh, can you guys say if you're done till now, till what we have discussed up till now, which is up to series? So we will dive into this series program, the last series program that we have. Everyone is positive. Let's move forward. Okay, so here's the basic program to demonstrate working with series data using Python. Again, we are using import pandas SPD. The simple series data over here is this 10, 12, 30, 40, 50. And index are here we are using as A, B, C, D, E. To display the series, of course, this series data is used. We are firstly printing a series data as a string, and then displaying the series data. You can see this. So this is the series data shown in one dimensional form. And then we have accessing elements by index. So when we want to access the elements, it's like as we discussed earlier, you have to just specify the particular index in the square brackets, and then you will be able to access. Here we are printing a string value at index b, because we are accessing the element which is stored in the b index. So you can see our value at b is 20, b 20. Slicing the series can also be performed. Subset series is the new variable that we are introducing, and in this series data, which we have already having the series, in that we are going to access elements from A to C. A to C. So here you can see 10, 20, 30 are being displayed. Give me a moment, guys. You can just try writing down this code and practicing this on your collab notebook. Is everyone done with this code? Okay, so we were discussing over here about the slicing of this series. So this is how the slicing is done, and then of course we have to display this sliced series, which is we are actually again having a string slice series over here, and then we are printing the subset series, and this is how it looks. When specify in the chat if you are all done till now. I hope I'm audible, guys. Okay, it's got restarted accidentally. It's loading again. Okay, no problem. Okay. Okay, then let's continue with the session. So after series, again, there's a bit theory about data frame. The In the start, we have already looked into how data frame are being worked into Pandas library, but it was like how we are dealing with data in Pandas. But now let's kind of dive deeper into data frames. So data frame in Python. Data frame is a two-dimensional tabular data structure in Python, commonly used in data analysis and manipulation. The Pandas library provides the data frame class. Key structures, key features, rows and columns. Data frames have rows and columns, allowing you to represent and manipulate data in a structured form. Indexing. Similar to series, data frames have labeled indices for both rows and columns. Heterogeneous data. Columns in a data frame can have different data types. It's like, of course, in the columns, we can have different data types. This is the main difference between a series and data frame. Kind of main, of course, the main one is the dimensional. For in the series, it's one dimensional. In data frame, it's two dimensional. Operation on data frames support various operations, including selecting columns, filtering rows, and performing statistical analysis. So here's the simple data frame, how we are actually converting the data set into data frame and then printing it out. We have already worked on this, yes, and you all have done this code prior to this. So let's just skip to the next function that is under it. So when we want to locate a row, how we can do? Pandas use the loc attribute loc to return one or more specified rows. So just a second, let me run this function first. And then we have how we are going to locate a particular row is like print df.loc, the function just discussed. And then we have the square brackets, and over there you can just specify 0 1 or 2. So here the zeroth is like indice over here. So zeroth indice is having 420 and 50. Calorie is 420 and duration is 50. So simply it is going to print that. And for on the last of it, it's having name equals to 0. Name here is actually referred to as the indices, or indices, which is like the default indices over here. And the data type is of course integer over here. So of course, if you will change the um, if you want to access any another row, which is like, let's say 2, so the name will change to 2, and the data type will of course remain the same, and the calories and duration will change as mentioned in this particular row. I hope it's clear to everyone. So um, we can also use a list of indices. Let's say we are going to access just indice. Let's say you are going to have a very large data set, and you want to data set, and you are going to work on a very small data set. You want to work on the very small data set. You can access that particular data set by using the number of, or the whatever row that you want to access. Here let's say we are going to access 0 and 1 row. So 0 and 1 you will be getting as a uh, row, particular that row will get printed over here. So of course, as we have already learned before in the series as well, you can change the indices. So here we are also trying to change the indices by mentioning simply that the index that we want is day 1 2 3. So what is the calorie and duration over day 1 2 3? uh, so it's like, just let me run this code, you will get to know. You can see over here. So prior to this code, we were having 0 1 2. Now we have having day 1 day 2, which is the better representation that we should have, which will of course be very much viable while we are explaining this data to any one of them, any one of your audience, or any of your client, when you're like dealing with different type of data according to your project, according to the whatever your task is. To that you can just modify the rows, columns, and the of course this indices. So of course, like in this we were having when we were actually wanted to locate a particular row, you were using 0 1 2. Now if you want to access similarly, you have to change the indice as day 2, because here you have changed the name of the indices manually. By default it will be of course 0 1 2. And then the next code over here is program, like simple program to demonstrate working with data frames using pandas. Here again we are inserting this data, which is similar, I guess, same to what we were using in series, right? So same data we are using over here. So we are of course converting it into data frame, creating a data frame out of this data, then displaying this by printing df, and then accessing. When we want to access specific column, simply you have to write df, and then in the square brackets the particular name of the column. Similar thing I we have done while we were having I guess we were actually dealing with the age column, and we were specifying that we want age greater than 25. So similar function is being used over here. Adding a new column. So simply when you want to add a new column, simply you have to write df, and then in square brackets new occupation, and this similar to what you were writing over here. Similarly you have to write, just that you have to mention the key value over in square brackets, so that it's specified to df that it's kind of new value that is being printed, that is being inserted over here. And then you have to display the updated data frame, like updated data, printing out the string updated data frame, and then printing df. So firstly we have printed df. So this is the original data set that we have, and then we are inserting df name over here. We are printing like the name column. uh, so here's the name column. Here's the name column. John, Alice, and Bob is being printed. And then we have actually added one more row over it. And this is what is being the output of this code. Let me once again run this code. Okay, so I hope this code is clear to each and every one of you. I hope you all are practicing this code. Please let me know if you're done with this code. So let's move forward with the session. Are you guys still writing this code, or are you done with it? Anyone write in this chat section? Okay, so it's the positive response. You all are done with it. So let's move forward. Okay, so now let's move into the different types of files that we were mentioning in the start. We can, you might have CSV data set, CSV file. Having your data sets, they you don't, when you're dealing with very small data sets, so it's like you are using um, just a second. Okay, so when you are dealing with data sets, so when you are having very small data set, you can of course write it manually like this. But when you are working in any organization, they are going to provide you data set. You maybe they provide you data set in a CSV file. So how you are going to deal with it? Uh, of course, file is comma separated values. Refers to the full form of CSV is comma separated values, and the CSV file refers to comma separated values source file. And then we have CSV is a like simple and widely used file format for storing tabular data. Each line of the file represents a row, and values are separated by commas or other delimiters. Like of course, you can use anything other than commas as well. Key points: CSV is a plain text format that is easy to create, edit, and read. The Pandas library provides convenient functions for reading and writing CSV files. So, if you want to have a kind of sample data set of any kind of sample CSV file, you can download from Kaggle, of course, or you can simply download by searching over the web just sample data, sample CSV file, and you will get the file. Or you can create your own as well by just simply writing, creating a text file. You can just write over a data using commas, and you can write the data, create your data on your own. You can save it as a text file and then convert the text file to the CSV file, or of course JSON file also you can do, whatever format you want your data to be into. So according to that, you can convert that data set, that file into whatever your needs are. So let me showcase you one of the CSV file that I am using over here. Give me a moment. Okay. So here's, I hope my screen is visible to you. Can anyone write in the start section? Is my screen visible to you, guys? Okay. Okay. So here you can see if the data is separated using commas. We have this is a simple data.csv file that we will be using in our code as well. So I am showcasing that particular file only. So here we have date, comma, product dot region dot sale. So this will be referred as columns. And then in the date section, we have this whole date. And then after comma, we have product A, B, C, D, like that. And then we have region as one, two, three, one, only two reasons we have one, two, one, two. And it's like similar to like we are using one, two, one, two again and again, because we are going to use this data later for our project as well. That's why. So here we have sales. Sales is 1,000, 1,500. So it's like in this particular column, we have different numerical values, but here we are only dealing with product A, B, and C, and reason are only two, one and two. As you can see, the date is of course um, from 1 to, I guess, 30 January, and then further continuing. So you can see here we have 70 columns. Okay, so 70, sorry, 70 rows over here. So basically it will be 69 because first line over here is for the column. So, okay, so I hope you know, now you know what kind of data we are going to deal with uh, now. But now let's dive into the code. Now you have already seen what data we are having in simple data.csv. Simply when you want to upload this, you want to access this simple data.csv, you can simply do this in Collab by going to the folder section over here, and here you see the upload section. Then by clicking on the upload from your local files, you can upload the particular file. You can see here we have sample data.csv over here. This is the sample data folder, which is created by Collab automatically by default. And here we also have the drive folder because I have given Collab the access to my drive as well. We will be learning about this later. So here we have uploaded sample underscore data.csv. Now let's just access over it. So how you are going to print that in Collab is simple. Import pandas as pd, df equals to pd.read read underscore CSV, this function we have seen like how we are going to load our data in Pandas. So this is the function that we use. In the start, we have also mentioned this function. Again, here we are mentioning this function, but the file name is sample underscore data.csv. And then we are using the function toString. Anyone who have already worked with Pandas, do you know why we are using to underscore string over here? This function, why we are using? Anyone can write on the comment section. Turn the data into a string, or else it might be printed with commas. No. So this is the reason why we are using toString function. It is to print the entire data frame. Of course, when we see the function toString, you might have this particular what particular scenario that you have written over here, which is to turn the data into a string, or else it might be printed with commas. No, this is not like that. We are actually already mentioning that we are reading the CSV file. So when we deal with CSV file, it's already known that the CSV file will be having data in the commas format only, because the full form of CSV itself is comma separated values. So I hope now you are clear with uh, the two string operation is not for converting the removing the commas and converting it into string, because it will already take it as a string. So it's two string operation is to print the entire data frame. So here you can see df.toPrint we are using, and it is having data from index 0 to 68. I have shown you the data set. It was until the row 70, but we have excluded one row because of the column section. So we had 69 rows, but we are using zero index as well. So it's like 68. So I now you have the confirmation that all the data that you are having in the CSV file is getting printed. And let's now print the function df simply and not using toString. Let's see what is it's like, what is the output of it. So here you can see, just a second. Okay. I guess I have. Give me a moment, guys. Let me reshare my screen. I guess then it will work. A minute, guys. Okay, so is my screen visible to all of you? Can anyone write in the section? Okay. Just a second, I'm restarting the session, guys. So it will take a minute. Uh, let's dive into what we were doing. I'm very sorry for taking your time a bit. Okay. So we were printing this df2 string function. So let's when we are using this two string operation, you can see the whole data is being printed. When we are not dealing with two string operation over in here, see that how what type of data it is showcasing in the output. Yeah, you guys can also try this in your data that you are using. Everyone, can you write in the comment section if we are on the same page and you have tried the this you, accessing your data using the two string operation and then without the two string operation. Here you can see it's not printing the whole data set. It's actually printing the first five rows and the last five rows over here. So that is why it's important to use two string operation to print the entire data frame. Now, it's like what is the maximum number of rows that your system can have? You can also check the same by writing this particular function, which is pd.options.display.max rows. What is the number max rows that the your system can take over? So here, when I write over here the same function, I'm getting 60 as output. Can you guys let me know what you are getting as output in your systems? This is a function. Let me know when you are done. Anyone tried this operation? Let me know what is the output you all are getting. 32. Mm, might not be the case, but it's okay if you're getting 32. So let's say you if you're getting 30, 60, and whatever value are you getting. In my case, it's I'm getting 60. So if it means that only 60 rows can be accessed by the system. So how you're going to increase that? Of course, you can access by using the two string method, but let's say the two string method is also not working. But what's the other method that you can increase the number of data set that data that your system can take? So simply what you have to do is you have to use the same operation over here, and you have to imply that the max rows that your system can take should be let's say 999, uh, uh, 9999 over here. So when you will specify this, then you can access the whole data by just using the df function, and not just by calling the df over here and not using the toString function. You have to use this function in the start, of course, because your system is not capable enough. That's why you are using this function. But to make your system capable enough to so that it can access the whole data that you are having in the CSV file, so you can do this by manually specifying the number of rows the your system can access. So you don't have to use the toString function over here once again, or anytime in the future if you have mentioned this in the start of your code. So by running this, you can see you are able to access the whole data till 68. So I was mentioning that you can also import files from your drive as well. So how you can do is simply you have to write from google.collab import drive, and then drive.mount whatever file or whatever content you want. You can just specify the location over here, and then you will be able to access that particular file. Let's I have mentioned that you can upload your files by simply going to the folder file section, and then upload that particular folder or that particular file over here, and it will be uploaded in the collab. But let's say what is the other way you can upload the file over or you can access the files over this collab notebook? Is the other thing is that, of course, the drive that we have discussed right now. This is this. And then we can also import files by using this particular code, which is like from google.collab import files. So then you have to like just simply say uploaded equals files dot upload. Upload is the operation that we're using. So when you run this, you can choose the file from your local system. The local files can be accessed here. When I click on the choose file, I have whatever files I'm having on my local system, and then I can select that particular file. And when I select and open that particular file, that particular file will get uploaded over here in the file section automatically, because I have chosen that file for uploading. I hope that is clear to you all, and you can try this once again once in your systems. um, when you have already uploaded that file and access that file using this upload operation, then you can do this then you can access it or print it by you trying out this code here. Actually, before this session, I have uploaded username dot csv file. You can see here that username csv file is uploaded. I had uploaded username dot csv file, and then I had printed the same and displayed the file over here. You can see that file. This is the same data that is under this username CSV. Up till now, you have seen the data set that I had in sample underscore data file, CSV file. But this is the username CSV file, which I am accessing over here. You can try this function out and let me know if this function is working for you as well. When you all are done with it. Question again. What is IO over here? See, when we are here writing import or IO is like for accessing input output files. Uh, Input output files that we are uploading or whatever we are doing over here. So it's like a Python main facilities for dealing with various types of input output, including streaming data and everything. So that's why here we are importing IO. And when it comes to IO.bytes IO, it's this creates a binary stream. Bytes IO is like object from the uploaded CSV file data. So it's like this is creating a binary stream from the uploaded CSV file data. So yeah, I hope that is clear to you. Sorry, I didn't get your question, Ankit. I don't understand adding the code into a document part. Where we are adding the code into the document part? Are you asking me out that why how I am like dealing with the data that is already been uploaded in the CSV file? Please just clear out your question so that I can deal with I can answer it. Once we are done with the code in Collab, how can we add it into the document that you have written the function as df equals to pd dot read? Um, See, here we have, let me upload this file once again. Okay, delete file. So, I guess you have seen up till here that we are using the upload function, and then we are choosing a file. So let's say I'm choosing username CSV file over here. So it will be uploading the username.csv over here. Okay. We once again do this. Oh, sorry, I did it again, so it will be printed one more time. So you can see, like last time, I have run this function for 2 times, and I have chosen username file for 2 times. So first time it got saved as username.csv, but the second time it's actually mentioning over here that we have saved your username.csv file as username bracket in the parenthesis one. So this is because this I'm uploading the same file once again. That's why it has saved here once again as username one. It will be showcased over here once again after running this code after some time. So um, okay, let me again. Again, let me delete this because I've uploaded 2 times. You can see again it got printed as username in one, having in parentheses like 2 files got uploaded. Okay, let me choose the file. Here's the file. Okay, so username.csv got uploaded. And then I had run this function where I'm accessing username.csv, which is uploaded over here. It will be showcased after a time. You have to wait. It will be showcased over here. As you have seen, like last time also, I had uploaded this 2 times. So it got showcased after a minute. So of course, this will all, of course, be showcased over here after a minute. Here you can see, then I have accessed this username.csv like using this particular code. I hope this is clear how we are doing this. Now you can see again username .csv file got uploaded and is showing in the file folder over here. Okay, so let's I guess all everything is clear to each and every one of you. Let's start over with the next code, which is to demonstrate working on CSV data frame. Like we can do other things as well. Here, this is a third type of thing that we can do. That how we can access the file. So once you have uploaded the file over here, this is how you can copy the path, and you can just write over into inverted commas, and then you have to run this file, run this code. Here you have to firstly mention what is the file that you want to access, and then the path of it. And the path should be copied from the collab here wherever you have uploaded the CSV file. So this is how you have done this. This is a third way you can do this. And then here we are printing a string CSV data, and then df CSV. This is the variable where we have uploaded the content of our. We have uploaded our CSV document. So here it will be displaying the whole CSV file, and then we are writing data frame to a new CSV file. So let's say we want to save this particular data into new CSV file. So how we can do this is simply we are here mentioning the variable df underscore csv to underscore csv. Uh, what is the new file that you want to shift this data into? Which is I mentioned output underscore data, which is like the new data new CSV file that I'm creating. Let me first delete this. Okay, so the same data will get a print that our username.csv file is having will be shifted towards output underscore data index equals false. And print, we are printing the particular new data. This is a, like basically a string where we are mentioning that data frame written to output data. We are just mentioning to the user that this is done, that your data is being now moved to the output underscore data. So when we run this code, you will be able to see that the new file will be created as output data, output underscore data. See, I had deleted all the files. Now you can see that it has been uh, again showing over the file folder. I hope everything is clear till now. If you want to see your data into tabular form, simply you have to write df.csv and run this, and then you will be able to see your data in tabular form. It's the same data, it's the tabular form only, but it's like a bit a visualization thing has been added to it. Uh, if you want to just see if the data that you were having in username.csv, which was this, is the output underscore data is having the same data or not. So simply you have to write pd.read csv output underscore data.csv and then print df. This is, you can see, this is the same data that username csv was having. I hope you guys are following the code and you are done till now. Is there any function through which we can edit the data in the tabular form? Of course, there are a lot of functions. We have learned manipulation of data earlier to this, where we have used sorting and accessing particular elements, and we have also, like, if you want to use of operators greater than equal to, kind of all those things. So of course you can do all those things, and all those things comes into data manipulation that we had done in the start. I hope everything is clear till now, guys. Let's move forward quickly because we are going to deal with the a mini project, well, which will not take much time. So working on JSON data now, which JSON is JavaScript object notation. I hope every one of you know about this. JSON is a lightweight data interchange format that is easy for humans to read and write. It's also easy for machines to parse and generate. When we talk about working with JSON in Python, the JSON module is in Python provides methods for encoding and decoding JSON data, particularly. Key points: JSON is commonly used for data exchange between a web server and a web client. Python's JSON module facilitates the conversion between JSON and Python data structures. If this is to note, everyone, if your JSON code is not in a file, as we were having CSV file before, if you're not having a JSON file, but in a Python, you are having the data in Python in a form of Python dictionary, you can load it into data frame directly. Or you can do this is simply, this is data equals, firstly of course you have to import pandas, and then this is the data in the dictionary format. Here we are having duration, pulse and max pulse, and calories, and then you have to simply write pd.data frame, and this is how your data is converted into the tabular format by using the data frame thing. I hope everyone is clear with it. Here these are the indices, and you can of course change the indices that we have learned earlier in data frame. Of course you can change the indices, as in C's also you can change the indices. Similarly, this is how it works. If you're not having the JSON file, you can manually write over your data. And this is a basic demonstration on working on JSON data using pandas. We have imported pandas as PD, imported JSON, So this is a sample JSON data, which is name John, age 25, city New York. Loading JSON data into a data frame. This is how we load the data. Pd.read JSON. Here we are not using CSV, we are using JSON. JSON underscore data orient equals index and transpose. Let me run this code. I guess I run this code as well. Let me run this code as well. And then this code. Okay, so here you can see the JSON data that we were using is converted into a kind of row column thing that was being before as well. And then we have displayed the data frame like that, and converting data frame back to JSON. JSON output equals to df JSON to JSON orients record lines equals true. Parse JSON dot loads JSON output, and here how we are displaying the converted JSON. You can see in the it's like we are converting the JSON from data frame to the normal dictionary format. This is how we can do this. Uh, Next is analysis of data. Data analysis involves inspecting, cleaning, transforming, modeling data to discover useful information, draws conclusion, and support decision making. So you all know what data analysis is. So let's directly dive into the code. Here again, there's a basic code of how we can analyze data. Import pandas SPD sample data analysis for sample. This is the sample data that we are using, similar to what we were using earlier. And then here we are creating a data frame out of this data. Let me run this code as well. So here's the data. Uh, and then we have uh, we have created the data frame, and then we are not displaying the data here. What we are displaying is basic statistics of the data, and how we can do this is by using the describe operation that we have discussed earlier in the start as well. And this is the, of course, describe is printing out this count, mean, std, min, 25% and everything. Anyone of you know what std stands for over here? You can write in the comment section. Anyone? Is it me? Standard deviation. Yeah, okay. Like, no, I'm just asking about what is it is used for. You can just specify in simple wording or a sentence why we are um, having std. What is the main role of it? We have a question. What is the JSON file? How it is different from a normal file? I guess we have discussed why what is JSON and JSON file over here. You can see JSON is commonly used. You should be you should just focus on this one line, which is JSON is commonly used for data exchange between a web server and web client. People into People into web development are quite familiar with JSON. Mean calculation. What is the average irregularity from the average when we talk about the salary? Average irregularity from the average. Sorry, I didn't got your question. Okay. Let me answer this question for by myself only. So STD is standard deviation, of course, but it's standard deviation from the mean. So as you can see, the highest salary over here is 30 and the mean is 25.66. So the what is the standard deviation from the highest thing over here is 30. It's like 4 point something something. So this is what STD over here stands for. So this we have described operation we have seen earlier as well. Let's move forward. Here we are calculating mean of the specific column, which is salary over here, because salary is having the, you can see 60,000, 80,000, 45,000. We can also calculate the mean of the age column as well. So here we are printing the uh, uh, string over here, which is mean salary, and then again printing the mean salary variable over here. A df, and how we can use this mean operation is df uh, in square brackets the particular column that you want the mean of, which is here is salary, and then the mean. Here you will get the mean of it. I hope everyone is clear with all these things. Of data, you can just go through with the theoretical part after the session. Of course, all this everything will be shared to you. So let's dive into the code. Import here we are again using the same data, and we are converting that data and creating a data frame out of it, displaying the data frame with missing values. Original data frame was this, and how we can handle the missing values is, let's we you already know how we were actually taking out the mean out of the salary column over here. So you can just do is df dot fill na, which means the uh, null values will be filled with the mean value. So this is how we are cleaning the data over here. You can try different methods, you can do different things out of what is your goal, or you can just figure out all those things and you can do whatever you want. But now right now what we are using is, what we are doing over here is, we are filling the null values with the mean values. You can see this was the original data set, and this null value, which was none and nan, got filled with the mean of the salary, which was 61,666. This is a clean data frame, and this was the original data frame. And this is what we have, the code we have written to clean the data. Here we have the variable df underscore cleaned and df dot fill na null values with the mean values. I hope everyone is clear with this cleaning of data. This is the very basic overview that we are having of cleaning and analyzing the data and dealing with data frames and series. We have now the project, very which is very simple project. Let's say you're working in any company or any organization, and you are, let's say, given sales records and you have to do data analysis out of it. So how you can do using NumPy, Pandas, and whatever we have learned till now. So there are, of course, steps of data analysis, which include data acquisition. Data acquisition is basically getting what data you want to work upon, and then data pre-processing, uh, which is to load the data set into Pandas data frame and convert data types and everything, like cleaning of data, basically, we can say. And then we have data analysis using NumPy and Pandas. We will be looking under it. Then we have visualization and advanced analysis as well. Which is advanced analysis informed, like specifically what you want to perform. What if you specifically, let's say, if you're dealing with uh, time slabs and all. So when you're dealing with time, you have to deal time when you're dealing with time steps. It's like you have to specifically perform different functions to deal with that type of data. So that comes under advanced analysis. And then the last thing is conclusion and insights. So basically, visualization should be showcased to the user or to the client. So how you are going to do that? So that comes into conclusions. So here I have a sales CSV. Let me this is I don't want to open again my Android Studio. So this is how I've already loaded that particular document over here, uploaded that document over here in the file section, and then I'm just letting you know what the data we are having in this sales.csv, which is this. We are having date, product, which is ABC, and reason is 1 2, and sales, different types of sales over here. And then let's start dive into the code. So we are importing pandas as PD, numpy as NP, and here we are using matplotlib.pyplot as PLT. Anyone would like to answer this question, like why we are using matplotlib.pyplot? What is the use of it, and what is the function of it? Why do we um, generally use matplotlib? Of course, yeah, I will share the CSV file with you so that you can import. Just a second. I'm uploading all the files that I have used. Uh, I hope you guys can see sample underscore data that I had used at the start. Then I had used username dot csv. You can download and try using it. Sorry, I'm really sorry, extremely sorry that I didn't share this file with you in the start. I thought you might make your own data set. Here's, yeah, yeah, of course, I'm sharing the sales file as well that we are using for the project. Ankit, for the project, I'm using the sales.csv, which I've just shared. And before that, I had shared sample underscore data, or just dealing with the function operations and modules that to explain all those things. And then I had also used username.csv. You can actually use any the CSV file for this particular project, but I will suggest to go with the sales.csv only because that will be kind of analysis part that will cover your analysis in deeper sense. So I guess everyone is on the same page now. Okay, I had asked one question. Yeah, so here's someone has answered this. Diagram representation, like plotting the data points and finding the accuracy. Uh, okay. See, so matplotlib, so it's like a plotting library of Python, specifically plotting library, which is used for data visualization, and it is free and open source software under Python Software Foundation. And here, what is the PyPlot? If anyone will ask, so PyPlot is a module having collection of functions that make matplotlib work like MATLAB. So you know MATLAB, I guess everyone knows MATLAB. So it's actually providing an interface that MATLAB is already having. So we are dealing with Collab. We are into Python and how we can have a interface similar to MATLAB. So PyPlot is actually having giving us that interface. It's actually a kind of GUI manager. Let's say we have already done the analysis. Now we want to display that analysis to the user. So that displaying thing, that GUI managing, I guess everyone knows GUI. What is GUI? Graphical user interface. So like how it's providing interface so that it can display the visualization to the user. I hope everyone is clear and a concise information is with you of why what is matplotlib and pyplot over here. And yeah, of course, by after that, it's we are having cmon. Cmon is also a Python data visualization library, which is based on matplotlib. So okay, so everyone is clear with this code. And yeah, why we are using PLT over is it's like simple like we are using NumPy as NP and Pandas as PD just for the easier, just to reduce the complexity of the code. We are doing this. So similarly for this particular thing, we are having PLT. So as we have discussed over here that the step one is data acquisition. So we are here uploading the CSV file, which we are accessing the CSV file, which is sales.csv, pd.read_csv, and the sales.csv is there. You guys can start code. You can start writing the code, because this is the code over here. Let me run over it. Run this code again. Yeah. So this is the code and this is the output. So step one was acquisition. Step two is data pre-processing. Sales underscore data dot drop ane in place true. So drop ane, you already know that we are actually we want to check the missing values and handle them. So why we are here using in place equals to, the if in place equal to false. If we are actually what you might have a question that what if we write false over here. So if we write false over here, it will actually not change the data set. It will actually just uh, return whatever null values are there in our data set. It will not remove the null values. It will give return the null values. I hope that is clear to you. This is a commented sentence over here to explain the same scenario to you everyone. I hope everyone is clear with this thing. C1 is used for statistical graphs. Okay, yeah. I'm on my phone. I'm writing on my notebook. I will do after the end of the session. No worries. You can, of course, do after the session. Everything will be shared to you. How can we work if we have strings and integer data at the same time? Of course, if you are going to have strings and integer data at the same time, I guess here we had a code where we were replacing the null values with the mean values only. So here in the city we were having objects, and in this salary we were having integers. But of course, uh, when we want to deal with the strings and integers as at the same time, you are going to use data frame data structure and not series data structures. If you are going to deal with series, you have to have a separate series for the same. You are going to have separate series for the integer datas and separate series for string data. uh okay, so where we were. Okay, so we were into the second step, which was data pre-processing. I hope up till then you are clear with it. And the second thing, what we are doing is we are going to remove duplicates as well. Here again, we are using the same thing, so as to it does not returns the duplicate cases, and it actually removes those duplicates cases. And the step three involves data analysis. So when it comes to data analysis, what we can do is what we are doing here, and what I have done currently over here is I am printing out, I am taking out the sum of the values, some of the sales that we were having. So some of course we are going to deal with sales over here. As you can see here, the numerical data or the integer data, we are having sales. So you have to specify the column sales over here. And what do you want out of that column? We want sum, we want mean, we want maximum, we want minimum. And we are storing all those things in the variable named total sales, average sales, max sales, min sales. You guys can work out till now and let me know when you're done up till here. And also let me know if you want me to scroll down the code. Yeah, of course, underfitting, overfitting also are the main thing that is performed on the data sets. But extremely sorry. Yeah, of course. So underfitting and overfitting are also something that we have to perform on data sets, but it is mostly when we are dealing with large data sets. Currently, we are not applying those things because it's this is the basics class that we are having when we are having very basic things. We are discussing very basic things that we are doing when it comes to analysis and visualization. Can you go from top to bottom so I can take a screenshot or write my code? Okay, so you are asking me to for this particular code. Yeah, of course you can take the screenshot, but after the session you will be having access to all those things. But currently, of course, you can take this one. I hope this is done. Let me scroll down. One is done till here, which is analysis part. Okay, done. So when it comes to analysis, the other thing which is very important that we are doing, sorry, what we are doing here is for our visualization part, which is we are analyzing sales by product and sales by reason. This is what we want to display. So we are what we are doing is the original data set that we were having sales underscore data, and we are grouping it by product, and the sum of the sales that we were having over here is like that. Here we are what we are uh, having as a conjunction over here, like we are importing using the sum of the sales to so that we can group it by the product, and then we are grouping it by region. And why we're doing it, we are visualizing total sales by product using a bar plot. As you can see, I will showcase the output over here once, so that you are clear with what you are doing, what we want to do. So uh, here total sales by product, we are showcasing it as a bar representation, and when it comes to total sales by region, we are doing it as a pie chart. So for that thing, here what we are doing is visualize total sales by product using a bar plot. That's why we are having sales by product dot plot. I guess you guys are coding at the same time. So yeah, so the sum of the sales is being used for reason and product. And then comes the step 4, which is visualization. So we are firstly visualizing total sales by product using a bar plot. So for this uh, this particular operation, we are going to write over here, and then we are have to specify what the different attributes that we have to specify over here is what is the kind of plotting you want. So we want a bar plotting over here. Then X label means this is the X label, this is the Y label. What do you want in the X axis, what do you want in the Y axis? So in the X axis we want the products to be displayed, and in the Y axis we want the total sales, and title will be total sales by product. Sales by product, the first thing that we want to plot. Then we have used plt.xtext. So what is this, and what is this rotation equals 45? So this line sets the rotation angle of the x-axis. Please note here, this is specifying the rotation of x-axis, not the y-axis. X-axis labels to 45 degrees, which helps to prevent overlap when the labels are long or numerous. It ensures that the product names on the x-axis are readable. I hope that is clear to you. And then at the last, plt.show. You guys know that plt was the word that we were using for matplotlib.pyplot. So we are actually accessing uh, libraries, modules, and features and everything of matplotlib over here, so that we can visualize whatever we have done till now. So This is the two thing. Show plt dot show is for actually showcasing that to the user. Then we have to do the second visualization step as well, which is to visualize total sales by region using a pie chart. So sales by region dot plot, what are the attributes that you have to specify over here is kind equals to pie, because we are going to use pie chart over here. Then auto PCT. What is auto PCT? Auto PCT equals percentage 1.1 f percentage here specifies the format for displaying the percentage on the pie chart. uh, uh, 1.1 percentage means that display percentage with one decimal place. So here you can see one decimal place only. It is showcasing, not, it's not going into three words. It's not taking two three places over here after the decimal. It's just taking one place after the decimal. So for that we are specifying, because sometimes the values becomes larger, and in the visualization thing it does not looks good to the user. So that's why we are taking the decimal value up till 1. The title will be say total sales by region. As you can see, region, total sales by region will be there. And then we have created dot show, and this is the visualization thing that we have done using the matplotlib dot pyplot, and we are done with the visualization. As we have discussed, the step 5, which was advanced analysis, which is optional, of course. It depends on the kind of data that you're dealing with, and the particular data that we have selected over here is, which is sales.csv. In this particular data, we were not having any kind of timestamps, so we are not going to do advanced analysis over here. But I guess that can be considered as a task for you all, and you can try once dealing with the time series, and let us know in the next session if you are able to do, or if you are able to deal with it. And if you're having any doubts or anything, you can just in our discord you can write that you are if you are facing any issues. We have a particularly doubt channel over here, and you can write the doubt of yourself over here. Okay, you guys can. I hope you guys can. You have written the code up till now. Okay, we have a question. If we want to use the concepts that you have covered so far, can we analyze the reason for sale decrease in any company? So see, it depends on what kind of data you are dealing with again. So here you can see our data is having date, product, reason, and sales. Okay, so let's say after analyzing this data, you have analyzed, the conclusion is that the sales in particular, let's say in reason 1 is very less. Here what we have done is, you can see the sales by reason. So you can see in the reason 2 the sales is less. So what you will depict from this particular analysis will be that your sales are very low in the reason 2. Simple. And when we come with the product, like what why what is what where the sales are very less, which is product A, sales is very less. But now your question is that can we depict like what is the reason for sales decrease? So this you can't depict over here, because it depends on the company you are working with. Let's say I am working in Amazon, and I am working with three products and doing analysis of three products. One is Alexa, and one is let's say AWS, and the third is, let's say, um, Amazon website. For example, this is very hypothetical and like just for example thing. So let's say these three products I'm looking into, and reason one and two are, reason one is USA, reason two is India, and the sales is of course written over here, and the date is also mentioned over here. So when I will do the analysis, I will get to know that product A is having very less sales. Let's say product A was Alexa, so product A is very less. And here in reason 2, like reason 2 was India. So our sales is very less in India. Our sales is very less for particularly product A, which is Alexa. So what you can depict here is, because of the data that is being provided, according to that you can depict that the sales of this particular product is less in this particular region, it is less. And if you want to if you want to know the reasons of it, you have to have a more data of the company. And I guess when you will be working in the company, you will get to know that what kind of data you will be getting. You will getting here the reasons, because people because the company takes feedback from the customer. I hope you know that feedback form is being generated by each and every company, and they're asking us out to just fill out the feedback form. So in that feedback form, people will be selecting the reason why they are not liking that particular product and everything out of it. So according to that, you can filter out again over here that what were the major reasons of not selecting that product over that product. People so through those feedback forms, you will get to know. So actually your question is very good. You can of course deal with all those things by whatever we have learned in this session. Whatever functions, whatever operations you have learned is in this session, you can apply all those things in that type of data, but not this particularly in this data. I hope my answer clears out your doubt, Ankit. Outside of my topic. Okay, yeah, sure. You should ask in the end. Let us complete this thing first. Okay. So we are done till advanced analysis, the fifth step. Now the last thing is conclusion and insights. In the last, you have to just you remember in the analysis that we have done sum, mean, max, and min. Now here you have to showcase that thing in the wordings. You should and you can showcase all those things in the wordings as well. And also you can use all this information to make out different visualization charts. This is kind of work for you. You can use average sales, you can use maximum sales, you can use minimum sales, or any other thing that's coming into your mind, and just to visualize something else which is helpful for the organization. Like here you can see we are using total sales by product and total sales by region, but you can use something else as well. And also as you can see that we have cleaned the data. So you have learned that you can shift that particular clean data to the news. You have just learned that while we were dealing with the CSV topic in under the Pandas, I have let you know that you can shift the data from one file to another. So here you can see what's the use of shifting the data. So here you have cleaned the data. I guess you all know that you have cleaned the data in the data pre-processing by removing the duplicates, by removing the null values. So that clean data can be shifted to the new CSV file, so that when you are again when you want to again access the particular data which is cleaned, so you can directly access the new file which is cleaned sales data.csv, which is here we are writing sales underscore data to CSV, which is the new what is the new data, what is the new file CSV file that we are making over here is clean underscore sales underscore data dot CSV. Here you can see in the file section we now there exists clean underscore sales underscore data dot CSV. And you can check out the what is the data that particular file is having by again accessing the data of this file, and you will see the same data as it was inserted. Because here we have not dealt with any null values right now, because it was a very simple project, so that you are clear with the visualization and cleaning and uh, accessing and analysis part of the um, data that we have used over here. I hope everyone is clear. Okay, so you have answered very well, ma'am. Comparison of two company sales. Madam, what code we can write? Can we? Okay. So okay. So you want to compare two companies, right? What code you can? There's not specific code for comparing two companies. You should have data of two companies. Let's say here you have. You can see the data that we have used, right? This one is the data. So here we have three products. We have two reasons. You want to compare two companies. Here you can have company one and two, and will have a column of company as a company, and then you can have multiple companies, not just one company, two company. You can have three, four, five, whatever number of companies you want to have, and want to have a comparison out of it. You can create one more column and do this. Okay, okay, it's clear now. Okay. Okay, so guys, we are done with the session here. I hope everything was clear to you, and you guys gained something from the session. And I guess you can make a project out of whatever we have learned today. All the course materials, whatever we have discussed, whatever code we have, coding thing we have done, all everything will be shared to you after this session. Just give us some moment to um, share with you everything, share everything with you. Very welcome. Yeah, you guys do work out whatever I have said in the session, so that and just if you are facing any kind of doubts after maybe tomorrow, day after tomorrow, you can just write out in the doubt section. We will be available. We will be sorting your query in less than 24 hours. Just have a bit patience if you're not replying. Just have a bit patience, of course, but in 24 hours we will be replying to your queries, and we will be meeting in the next session next week. So guys, yeah, next Saturday. So guys, do stay tuned. Ankit, kindly write your doubt, or kindly write your question over the chat. No, no, it's currently not uploaded. Just give us today. By the morning, it will be uploaded. I guess from for the last session that we had for number and basics of Python. Yeah.